Hello, and welcome to Calm, Cool, and Caduceus, your weekly hour to leave behind the walls of the Caduceus and practice mindfulness, reflection, and awareness. My name is Rolu, and I'm glad you're here. Before we begin, the captain has asked me to remind you of a ship-wide survey about Will Save the Podcast. You've listened to us, and now we want to listen to you. The survey is available at survey.willsavethepodcast.com on any of your devices. And there is apparently a mystery prize if enough crew members take it. It would be a true treat if you could share your thoughts with us. And now, speaking of your thoughts, let's begin our session. Imagine, if you will, in an appendage on the right side of your body, a paintbrush. And on the left, a paint can full of stars. I'd invite you to close your eyes.
Not long before the events of the Chimera, 4 space pirates were sent to the desert planet of Akiton to regain their captain's hold over Kafak Depot. Get in, restore balance, get out. A simple enough plan. Batten down the hatches, mateys. This is Will Save and the Interstellar Tales from the Extragalactic Adventure Anthology. Unknown Treasures.
Well, welcome back to Will Save and the Interstellar Tales from the Extragalactic Adventure Anthology. I am Kevin. I am your host for Unknown Treasures. Why are you laughing?
Are you
John?
waiting for us to say something?
Is there...
What?
Yeah. Are we supposed to
I was
say
just tapping my microphone.
Yeah. Usually shout the subtitle of the series.
Oh, you know.
But we don't want to do it this time.
So
Yeah,
I'm completely out of alcohol in my house. So I'm breaking into my wife's. She has a bunch of
Kombuchas.
Athletic Brewing Co. non-alcoholic beers. They're actually pretty good. But
You know you can get
cheers.
that stuff like DoorDashed, right? Booze.
Yeah, she wanted to like get a sample pack, but they didn't have sample packs. She bought like 6 packs of.
Oh my god!
Like one of
So
each
wait,
flavor.
it's
Essentially.
health conscious, athletic, non-alcoholic beer.
Well, she was pregnant, so she was like, "I want a beer."
Oh, okay. So it's non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
I was like, the alcohol is what makes it healthy or unhealthy.
I haven't had like non-alcoholic beer in
What?
forever. I had it. I used to drink it as a kid because my stepdad had O'Doul's.
O'Doul's,
and I would
yeah.
just like drink it as like a 7-year-old and be like,
Okay.
Okay.
"That's
O'Doul's is decent though.
Is it?
It's
I
not
guess
bad. I prefer Heineken
decent.
Zero if I'm going on alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
but-
I've never tried Heineken Zero actually.
I appreciate today's non-alcoholic, low-alcohol mocktail world.
I like the
where I
mocktails
can get-
way better. Agua
Yeah,
fresca
like I can get
type.
something tasty
Yeah.
and not... Yeah.
When I was an intern at my company, they
You're
do
not having the right mocktail.
like intern every week they do a intern day type thing where they do something special, and towards the end they did a big I forget what they called it, but it was a gathering of the executives essentially and then the interns to teach them how to be social in a work setting. And they had mocktails. Like I was just chugging up their Mai Tais and
That sounds great.
mojitos and all that stuff.
I like how
But
you
they were
need
all-
a social lubricant class.
yeah." It's like that or like cocaine, I guess. Those are two things that'll like help you. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
They had mock
Shrooms.
cocaine in the corner.
No, really?
Sugar.
They just
Oh,
popped
God.
open like 8 pixie sticks and
For reals, I was on an
Molly.
episode of Good Girls Revolt, which I think it's a Prime
It's Molly.
series.
Molly's the pretend cocaine. Cool.
No, I played a heroin addict on Good Girls Revolt, and
Kevin.
the person next to me was doing cocaine, and the prop people, they had an actual like heroin needle that would retract, so I could stab myself in the arm, and they had somebody like bandage, like pull the rubber band to make it tight and show my veins, and then this other person was actually snorting some powder every take, and I finally asked, like, what are they snorting? And they had bags of, I forget what company it is, but it was peanuts or some kind of nut. It was, and it comes, they buy it like ground up into a powder, and they have one that looks like cocaine. They have another one that looks like.
Why would you snort peanuts though?
Do they ask you if you have an allergy first?
I'm sure they asked. I wasn't the one snorting it, so they didn't.
I don't know, dude. I feel like any place that would let you stab yourself with like a heroin needle is probably not.
It's a fake heroin needle, but you're actually snorting something.
Yeah, but it's edible food waste or food.
But that goes into your like.
Yeah, but it goes in your nasal
I don't
cavity.
eat through my nose, Kev.
Yeah.
Man,
that's the operating like part of the. Yeah.
I'd rather have cocaine.
I think we just invent a
I think it would add to my
vacuum
performance.
that attaches to your nose, and then as you do it, it really pulls up into the vacuum.
The person doing it had no complaints, so like I don't know. And then
Straight up B12.
Yeah. I've heard of people like snorting B12 or.
Dude, I want to get like a B12 shot. I want to do that like Dr. Feelgood thing where you get like a whole panel put into your body or whatever. Like,
It's Dr. Feelgood, yeah.
sounds cool.
You gotta find
I'm
some.
unfamiliar with this. What is that?
Google Dr. Feelgood and JFK because he was helped
Google
treat
that
his
incognito?
Addison's disease.
Yeah, they
with
put an IV
a.
of stuff.
It's common knowledge. Which, by the way, we don't. Common knowledge. Also, we don't endorse anyone doing any illicit
no, none of that.
But this isn't illicit.
substances.
Just back to me being the heroin addict. The first take, there was somebody who worked on the. It was one of the crew, not anybody on the set, and they like after the take were like, "You're doing that wrong," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've never shot heroin before. I don't know how to do this." and the guy was like, "Well, yeah." He was like, "Let me show you." And I was like, "How do you know how to do it?" And he said that he used to be a medic, I think, in the military in England. And there was one night that these two idiots fell on his door, and they were like, "Can you shoot us up for me?" And he's like, "I'd rather shoot them up the right way than have them die on my doorstep."
Right.
And I was like, "Wow, okay."
Yep.
So you gave some guys a heroin. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's like
It was a fun day of filming, is all I gotta say. It was a good time.
I've been an extra a couple times, but then like one time I already told you was on Seventh Heaven, but the other time
Wait, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
you did not.
Wait, I told you this. That's how I met David Gallagher, and we were hanging out for like X amount of years or whatever. It was from that experience.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Oh,
There was a whole intro we covered about this.
I don't recall any of this. Granted, I have a terrible memory.
Was it in
That's
the
true.
first 52 episodes?
I can't fucking remember. I have a script of the episode. Like I can like conjure it up in a little bit, but like it's.
I'm just saying I may or may not have been there.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Well, yeah,
this,
it was before Vinny came on.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
So let's reiterate for Vinny then. Just
Yeah.
go for short, quick.
Real quick. You and David Gallagher.
Yeah, David Gallagher. I was on an episode of Seventh Heaven purely as an extra, but I was just like moving my lips like in the background, talking to David. Circumstances ended up being the case that he ended up coming over to my house because like him and my mom and his mom ended up becoming friends somehow through this. Anyway, and then he would take me clubbing and like we would hang out and play Halo and like for years like we would do this. And he tried to make me cool was kind of like the point of the story, but it just didn't happen. But like we were like hanging out. I became somewhat cooler than I was back then. I was like ridiculous, but like yeah, it was a good time. I don't know.
I'd argue you're way cooler than David Gallagher.
Maybe these days, because possibly through Will Save, I'm probably more well known than that thing is. Like, wow. He was in Richie Rich. He was in Richie Rich too.
I'm looking at his
nothing
IMDb.
better than the voice.
Saving Grace.
That's the best thing.
Smallville episode.
He was the voice.
Angels
This is
in the end zone.
He's Riku from Kingdom Hearts. That's what I most
right. He's Riku from Kingdom Hearts.
I
Yeah.
like Kingdom Hearts a lot,
But it's just a voice.
Dope.
but
So
still,
he's
I'd
super
rather-
well known.
It's fine.
He's known as Riku, but like
Yeah.
whatever. Will Save will one day eclipse David. Sorry, David.
So you guys aren't friends anymore, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's a long story, but like we did stop hanging out. It's probably my fault. And then yeah.
So how old were you when you were on
It's a story I'll tell another time, actually, how that probably happened. But like, I was probably like 15 or 6.
Okay.
I think I was like 15 years old.
He was in Super 8 too. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he was. But that was like the last thing I ever saw him in. He was just like he was high. He was on drugs, actually, the entire movie. That was his role. So he was like a Kevin. But
Well, we
that's
don't
what
want
I'm
to
saying,
speculate on that. I'm sure he was suffering from exhaustion. Please
The
don't
only-
sue us.
The only other like extra thing, there were a couple things, but the main other thing that I did was there was this movie. It was probably a student film for all I know, called Boobs, and it was just about boobs. And there was like a girl who's
Is
like,
that the
I
one
want
with-
huge boobs? Like, yeah.
Is that the one with Ross from
I have
Friends?
no fuck. I literally have no idea. I literally probably like slept through the entire experience. But my entire job was to be the kid in class behind the girl who wanted bigger boobs, just looking at her, checking her out. And then like when the whole thing was at the end, when she had no boobs because she
Is
like
Tom
stopped trying to
Arnold
pretend
in
that
it?
she did have them, like she was. They were like, I still accepted her or something. I guess that was like my extra role. I was like, you're still cute even without your boobs. Anyway, it was a weird story, but that was my extra role. I didn't do anything cool, such as like heroin or whatever.
Wow.
I'm trying to think.
What a doozy of an episode this has been. We're just all over the
Right.
place here. Yeah, we're all over.
David, I'm sorry, but I really want Will Save to become bigger than your entire career. And I think like we could do this coming up.
We can both have big careers, though.
Kelly, I'm DMing you because I want that episode number.
Oh, from Seventh Heaven? Yeah, same.
I want to buy the DVD box set of Seventh Heaven, and
Just to find the one
just
episode
to
he's in?
find.
I have it.
Yeah.
Jen's a
Who
huge
knows?
Seventh Heaven fan.
Whoa.
I've definitely seen this episode
You
already.
need to.
It was just before I
legally
knew Kelly.
send that to me through the post, not
I can-
through digital ripping or anything like that.
Later on, I'll look up I have the script. I think it's from that episode because I got the script that day. It was like a gift or something that was signed or whatever.
That's
I think
cool.
it's of the same ep. I don't know if I made the final cut to the ep or not, but I can tell you the episode that it was on. So pretty
Dope.
sure.
That's neat.
And we definitely won't post that clip in our
Absolutely
Discord for
never.
copyright purposes.
Never.
Well, if we
So-
do that, we have to put Kevin's entire filmography, which he has like a pretty.
I want to see
He
Kev
does.
draw
He
down.
literally
on,
played Ron
on some-
Howard.
on some
He
fools.
starred in a movie.
I know I'm going up river now, but
And he's got the DVD.
David Schwimmer was in a movie called Breastmen that came out when I was in high school. So I tried to watch it on HBO all the time. That's all I'm saying. Cool. Well, anyways, let's get to playing Starfinder. Yeah, you guys want to play?
Sure.
No, you guys want? You're gonna keep talking about movies and stuff.
Nah,
get
that's
it.
good. We should play.
All right, let's play. Change the music. Make it happen.
Yep, I'll just wave my magic wand that is somehow connected directly via Bluetooth to Centerscape.
Last
What are
time.
we doing? Are we? Oh yeah.
What?
Sorry.
Every time, Kelly. Every time.
Yeah.
Last time, Kelly
last time.
interrupted me. Okay.
Last time on
It's
Unknown Treasures.
It's literally rule 1 is don't interrupt people.
I thought we were clapping again. My bad.
No.
I don't know why I thought that.
Okay. Last time, Thaddeus confronted Rolu, taking full advantage of him being paralyzed. Chalk and Terme cautiously joined in the questioning, and it was Chalk that pulled out the blue stone from Rolu's hidden compartment. Terme was able to identify that object to be the base element from an unknown star. Leaving Rolu shackled, you all made some deal to at least finish the work and the mission before resolving things. But Chalk is going to hold on to the object in his pants. Terme and Chalk.
Noticeable bulge.
Noticeably in his pants.
Even
Chalk
more
is
than
so
previously. I was like, Jack. It's even more impressive.
Packing heat.
You thought Shaq had big dick energy after killing Dickerton?
His big puck energy now.
Oh, yeah.
Big puck
It's glowing
energy.
too, or it
Big
can
glowing in magical darkness.
be. In certain
Ask me about
circumstances.
my star metal.
All I can say is putting radioactive material near your genitals is not a good idea. So
Kev would
Well,
know.
it's Shaq we're talking about. He's gonna
saying.
do it, man.
star materials, probably. Terme and Chalk then turned their attention to the computers, and with a bit of teamwork, they found Vari 8's watch containing all of Vari 8's research. they also learned the Grey may have wanted the stone to find a distant location and possibly open up a drift portal to it. So that's where we are. We're in the room. Let me take you guys over to the map. We're still in that lab. Rolu is all tied up.
Go to the map.
So my hands are bound and my feet are bound, right?
No, I think it was just your hands.
I think
we
it's
want
just
you to
my
be able to
hands, too.
walk out. You know what I mean? Back to your
Strut. Saunter.
So
shit. You know, crawl.
You-
I don't care.
Soft shoe.
So shoot.
you have the entangled condition on you, correct, Rolu?
Yes, that is what my hero lab is telling me.
And I'm just saying, like, if you want to get out of entangled, I'm gonna need a strength check. And if you want to try to do that quietly, we can just tell everybody else to take their headphones off.
It's annoying because he probably is pretty strong.
I'm actually peek behind the curtain. No, I'm
Also,
not.
I don't think I'm very good at tying.
Can't confirm.
Maybe, I don't know.
Sagan?
Am I that good at tying things? Did I tie him up like proficiently enough? Like, did I do?
When a stoppable force meets a movable object.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes, that I think I gave you the entangled condition automatically because he was paralyzed. So, like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you could definitely tie him real tight. He was frozen.
So you might not be able to tie him tight, but you're able to tie multiple knots.
Plus, we're pirates. We know how to tie knots.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're good at
there's
that.
not even a knot. It's just a whole rat's nest.
That is actually what's keeping spaceships from floating away. Is when you come
duct
into
tape.
port, you tie it to the station or the rock, whatever.
Do tell what's a rat's nest? What is that? That's the stuff that
That's
people
like-
climb to get up the mast and stuff.
So I mean that's just like when you're trying to untie when you give it a child a knot to untie and they somehow loop the string 18 times on itself.
Or like picking up a piece of jewelry out of
Yeah.
like a ball of jewelry. That's like a rat's nest is what kind of guess. I'm assuming it's because that's what rat's nests actually look like.
I've never actually seen a rat's nest.
Do rats have nests? I guess they do.
They've got to raise their small children somewhere.
Hey, well,
lived in corners. I didn't think it looked that cool.
Let's go ask Riddle.
Yeah.
hey, so while you all are busy looking at the things, did I give one of you my last serum of healing? I am not doing great. And of course, since I'm all tied up and acting all complicit and moving forward and going back to the ship, I don't want to alarm you if I happen to cast a spell. Wouldn't want to have a shot in the head from you, Thaddeus. So I need some healing.
Could
Ask
someone
for a
just
bluff check on that?
check? Yeah. I want to make sure that what you're saying is right, Rolu, because we don't want to give you our last serum if you're gonna, like, I don't know, betray us again.
You're really convincing me that, that you believe me. Thank you, Thaddeus.
Yeah,
Who's checking?
well-
You?
Yeah. No.
Rolo
Tremaine,
Hobson
maybe.
puts his butt towards you, Thaddeus. You checking?
So uncomfortable. Shaq, Tremaine, either one of you pretty good at this. I don't know anything about that.
What am I doing again? Sorry.
Just check his health.
You're pretty good at pulling things from my pockets. This should
yeah.
be easy.
Sure.
So-
I'll have a look.
You had 2 serums before the last?
I
Because
actually think that I
Tremaine-
gave all of them. I used all of them for other people.
Because Tremaine stabbed you in the head with your own serum during the combat.
That's right. So maybe that was the last one.
Okay.
All right. So, Jack, you don't find any, I guess.
Well, how
Well-
is he doing though, Shaq? How's his health? You know.
Jack like squeezes his ribs and like
Yeah,
checks his
Jack, the
pulse, but
medical
like grabs him
professional.
in the wrong place.
Checks his pulse.
Oh, I do have a medicine skill. Never mind. Hang on. I thought I was untrained in medicine. It's a 17, so I'd say he's got a decent idea of how you're doing.
5 out of 20 stamina, 11 out of 24 HP.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Chuck. I'll make note of that.
He's
So is it?
he's all right. We should probably. I don't know. Maybe we should rest. How are we feeling? Do we want to take?
Yeah, let's rest.
Now that's an idea. Someone, I will rotate watches watching Rolu. I'll take first watch.
Okay, before we do anything else, you guys made a deal. I just want to know what the deal was.
The deal was that so Rolu was previously entangled and grappled because he was tied up and held down by me. He's no longer held down because we agreed that we would keep him tied up, and if he basically until he goes back to the ship. Is what we're trying to do. And we're going to keep the puck away from him. But if anything bad happens, we want him to be able to help, probably, of course. So that's it.
Okay. The next thing I was going to ask is, are you guys done with the room? And just so we're clear, you have the watch that Vari 8 has all of their research on. But that watch, basically the research on that watch and the equipment in this room are kind of what Vari 13 is looking for. That is what Vari 13 remembers and is seeking. So,
do we have everything?
Can we go search this area for anything? Or
what area is that?
This area that I drew, this sort of weird.
Oh, so the kind of the equipment off to the left hand side of the room. There's a lot of like desks and equipment. We mentioned this like prior to the combat, was everything kind of on the outskirts of this room is dilapidated and broken, and it's very clear that like the Gray disassembled everything to build up the prototype drift drive in a way that they needed it to be. That makes sense. So like you're not going to find anything in those corners, I'd say. But you can roll a perception check.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just search the room, even just to search for other dangers, perhaps.
I think that your idea, Treme, of taking a rest is a good one. We don't know what we're going to encounter on our way out.
And I got a 1. So I'm sure that I feel very confident that there's nothing here.
All right. And so you guys are going to take a rest, you're saying?
Yeah, take 10.
Yeah.
Take 10 or a full night?
I would say 10. I don't know that
Yeah.
Jack feels safe enough to take a full night's rest.
Yeah.
I think that probably makes sense.
As Rolu eases into sitting on the edge of this area where the drift energy was flowing, he turns to Jack and Terme. So what did you find out about this Gray? What did she want? I was very curious.
Well, you heard her say, drift on, drift off.
Yeah, but you're the one looking at this computer.
Yeah, we found almost coordinates. There's like an X and a Y, but there's not a Z, so we don't exactly know what she was moving toward. We've got a good idea.
Can I see?
Sure. And Jack shows Rolu the readout.
It's you, like, scrolling up, scrolling down, zooming in, zooming out.
Tell me when you're done.
Missed some quaternions. I could see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Jack.
So, how'd you get this puck?
How did I get this puck?
Yeah, that's what I said.
In your moment of glory with the junk murder bot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was fun. It was in that time that when it fell from your incredible shot that, that happened to be inside.
So, Chuck, you put 2 and 2 together that, like, you saw him pull something out of Tinkerton's head, and you're like, that's what he pulled.
How did you know to look there?
Well, it's a little bit of... I'm sure you know I'm very sensitive to things that might happen, and, well, also, it's a bit of luck. Sometimes the two come together serendipitously.
That sounds like bullshit, but sure.
Let's put it this way.
I know you were a cow farmer too, Rolu.
Chuck slowly, slides away.
Okay.
Not so far that they can't continue speaking, but, doesn't feel as safe standing right next to Rolu.
Yeah, dude. For real.
I knew that it would be here in Junker's Delight. And I was confident that based on our mission here, it might be something that I could find. So, as you see, that's the precognition part. And then there's the luck that we happen to be in the right place at the right time.
Every story of Rolu's has just a huge gap in it. Have you noticed? So much just doesn't add up. But okay, if you say so. All right. Is everyone feeling good? Topped off?
Do we successfully, Mr. GM, Take 10 minutes.
You could try.
That's what we're trying to do. That's what all that dialogue was.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 10 minutes of dialogue.
That was 10 minutes of dialogue. Was that relaxing though? Is it? Are you guys a little relaxed?
10 minutes.
What?
And you know, while we're rested here, I wonder what's next. What, should we head back out?
We should, but we should be careful. This ship is full of spooky stuff. We don't know what we're going to encounter on the way back.
Yeah.
Let's make a beeline for it. Yeah.
And I'll say, like, right as you were saying that, very serendipitously, you hear this strange hiss coming from outside the lab, I guess, at this point. Because you guys are in the lab, there's only one door. So through that door, there's almost a strange hiss, like a...
I don't like the
and
sound
you also then hear clang, 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 which I'm distinguishing differently from the clink, clink that you heard earlier.
To close the loop, we did indeed take a 10-minute rest, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You all burned a resolve point to do that? I'm just making sure you guys are keeping tabs.
Yep.
I didn't need to burn.
I didn't need
fine.
to do it either. But
all right.
just chill.
Wait, what?
Cool. Checked it.
I didn't rest during my 10-minute rest. I was just hanging out.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So what's your plan?
So there's a big clang and the doors, because remember that was a decontamination chamber. Was the clang and the bump on the doors outside of the chamber or on the doors to the room that we're in currently?
So the doors in the the cleaning room at the base of the lab are open from when you came through last time.
Gotcha.
So that what you're hearing is kind of like whatever sound that is from wherever it's coming from funneling through that door.
Kevin, just letting you know, I rebuilt my armor, the breakaway Aegis, and then also reloaded.
Okay.
Just
All right.
Dope.
Thank you for informing
Way to
me.
call it out. Cool. I think Chuck is going to, in his curiosity, amble over to the doors and press his ear against it to try to get a better idea of what's
So
out there.
those doors are open, right? You can see through them. They should be open. I don't think you guys closed them.
Are
behind
both
you.
sets open? I didn't think you could have both sets of doors open.
Well, this isn't a functional ship at this point.
Okay, then I guess I will.
It's not like an
retcon
active
it.
clean room.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to retcon it so that Chuck peers around the corner instead of stepping into what is clearly a murder hole.
A murder hole. Okay.
I mean, it looks like a good ambush point. Maybe we just fight our way straight back out, make a beeline for it. What do you guys think?
A hole that opens up into a new area.
Is there one?
Well, I thought that's what Shaq was looking at. We should probably just head back,
That's what I mean. Make a straight beeline.
We
Make
have
like
what
a
we
dog
need.
and get the kafak out of here?
Yeah. I don't need to fight no ghosts.
You do then hear there's a crackle that echoes throughout the room, and this time it's in every room. It's in the room you're in. You hear this crackle,
Yeah,
and then
let's
you hear,
get the fudge out of here.
yeah, you can't make me. All right, maybe you can. And then there's a rustling and some clicks, and there, I think it's working now. And you hear, excellent. Put him with the android. And then speaking directly into the comm unit, coming over the intercom system, you hear Tez Tronin say, well, looks like you're trapped in there, and you have what we want. So, how about you bring us the treasures, or we'll have to come in and take them from you.
Actually, yeah, you should.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Yeah,
and take them
it's
from
totally
us.
cool and not at all dangerous.
So are you trying to talk back to her?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I'm assuming the intercom is two-way.
Give me an engineering check.
Okay.
I got an 18 on engineering.
So engineering 18, that works. You can actually see like on the comm unit right above Chuck where he's hanging out the door. There's a comm unit there, and there's a button that if you push it, you can talk back to them.
Do we want to tell them to come in and get it and have them guns blazed, or do we want to feign like we're gonna comply? Be like, we're hurt, we can't move. Come inside, help us. We'll give you your treasures in exchange for our lives. Wink, wink. Or we could do something else. What do you feel like, guys?
There's an old pre-gap movie called Home Alone I think if we can get some
booby traps.
engineering,
I love where your head's at.
re-enable this gun at the front. I think this is light work.
idea.
I like where your head's at, man. I also got this proximity thing. If we gotta, make that work. I don't know.
So do you reply back to Tez?
Yeah, should we tell Seller a story about our sad sorrows or what?
I would like to. I'm assuming that Termaid tells Chuck how to use the button. Chuck is Chuck is going to bluff them by recounting the entire plot of Home Alone.
I don't get it.
To give the rest of the crew time to set traps and re-enable this gun.
All right, cool.
How does that work?
So you're going to give me a bluff check?
I would love to. 17.
Okay. So
Can I assist? I have a plus 11 to my
no, that's plenty. That's plenty.
Has Termaiden seen the movie?
I feel like
all talking.
there's the wet bandits, right? That's who we are.
So you guys are like discussing like what your plan is to get out, how to get out of here, and Chalk's like, no, I got this. And he clicks a button. And he's like, so there was this family in a big mansion, and just starts going on and on about Home Alone. So this is how we're gonna go through it. This is how we're gonna move forward. We know now that the True Warriors are laying siege to the Stellar Flare, and you don't know how long you have. It's probably until he finishes his bluff check. Or you guys could just stop now and walk out. I'm just saying you could walk out with your hands up, finish this whole campaign. But since you're not going to do that, I am going to let you set up traps. We're going to call it a scrap point system. We're going to work this in. You can build traps and seal doors using scrap points. So what I need now, I need to know how much each of you are carrying. How much scrap do you have in your inventories? You have come across scrap several times in this series. I'm just curious if any of you actually threw it into your inventory.
I threw in at one point, I think, some, but I don't see it on my sheet.
Okay,
But
so
I have
real low.
I have a spell for. Oh no, that's nothing. Never mind.
I mean,
Nope.
I
got
honestly, I didn't pick any up. I do have like this junk gun, which I could just try. It's
Nope,
terrible.
I'm looking for specifically junk.
Well,
Scrap.
could we like
It's an item of its own.
scrap parts of the ship?
So yes, if you don't have anything else, we can move forward. Okay, so
And
you guys
then
have starting off with 0 scrap.
I still
you do
have the proximity. I have one other proximity, and I
Okay,
have the one
and
that was already set up too.
That one is set up. I have that one on note. So you guys can take time to spread out and collect broken pieces of electronic metal or debris. So are the three of you going to go out and find scrap anywhere specific, or do you want to just do a general search?
I think if Chuck wanted to search for scrap while speaking into this intercom, he'd have to search within this room.
So you could start. I'll give you a perception check.
12.
Okay. You're able to find one piece of scrap. Like out of all the junk that's in the corners and stuff, you're like, I think that part is usable, and you point it out to somebody else to pick up. So you got one piece of scrap. Who's going next?
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going
Nice.
to go through the hallways. Maybe, do we need to move or?
Just tell me where you're going, and if you guys can recall the map, or do you need me to move you around and show you the map?
Sorry, where is Shaq like looking for scrap?
Shock was looking for scrap in the room, like the
Yeah, because this seems like a really good room for that. So I should look somewhere else. It makes more sense to like look elsewhere if Shaq has this covered. Or is there just enough scrap for both of us? We could
Is
just,
that
like,
I see you drew a big thing
That
on
was
the
me.
map, Will. Okay, so you're looking at that computer room that you guys went to before. So go ahead, give me either a perception or engineering check.
I'll do engineering
Okay.
because I have a 0 perception and a +1 engineering for a 15.
Ooh, okay. You get 3 points of scrap.
So what is the scrap economy?
I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, Kelly, what region are you looking?
So, in this room, if I look in this room, that's not valid anymore, right? Or is there just enough scrap in here where I could just look here?
The room you're in right now, I'm going to say that, like,
There's so
if
much
you
shit
try to
everywhere.
look here again, I'm going to just raise the DC up even higher.
Okay, all right. Well, I can't remember the layout of this place.
Do you want to go search?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move fast. You're not on a speed restraint. Okay.
Will checked out the one with the ghosts. Is that
The
right?
ghosts were over here.
Check the one across from that.
I checked this one over here.
Right. So you guys just walked out into the hallway right outside of those doors, and there's those two rooms. To the right there is the room where the ghosts were, and the bodies of those two are probably still in there. And then to the left was the server room with all with the computer and all the servers where you guys got electrocuted.
I guess I can look in like the. Oh no, it doesn't look like there. Yeah, I'll look in the ghost room.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
16.
Okay. You get 1 point of scrap. Wow, I thought you guys would roll a lot higher in all this. Does you want Rolu to help you search it all, or is he gonna just be hanging out?
I was
the
going to
back?
ask Thaddeus before he left. You know, I'm trained as an engineer. I clearly am interested in all of us getting out of here. I understand the situation.
Rolu, here's the thing. Hey, what's up? Thaddeus comes back into the room. Rolu, let's go look for some scrap, you and me, all right? I'm going to use your sharp vision and your engineering
that's good.
prowess.
Okay.
Come on.
Thank you.
I'll walk along
GM,
with you.
for being in support of me being imprisoned.
No one's letting you free.
I'm gonna set up some booby traps, maybe at some key points, maybe, but I'll wait for you guys to get searching. But if there's no time constraint,
So overall, you guys have what, 5 points total right now? 1 from Chalk, 1 from Thaddeus, and 3 from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremaine? So 5 total. I'm keeping track of this.
All right, Rolu, put that brain of yours to
And you're
work.
gonna let Rolu search. So Rolu, give me an engineering check or a perception check, and tell me what region you're looking in.
Where have you already searched, Thaddeus?
All right, we've already checked the computer room and the room where the ghosts were. So somewhere else where you think there might be more parts. Scrap around, you know.
I am also, John, struggling to remember where we went.
It's all right, we'll look together. Watch out for that claymore.
yeah, there's one around that corner, by the way, I see. Right here.
Oh, yeah. You let me know a little too.
Don't
No, I'm
do
going to
that.
say they gave you enough ample warning to get around it. I should freaking
I feel like Thaddeus pushed me a little bit as I'm trying to walk around. He's like, don't trip. Do I have to search in a room or can I look in the hallways?
Yeah, you can search in the hallway. So are you looking in the hallway right outside the front door?
I am honestly walking around because I'm trying to recall what rooms we've gone in that were
Okay,
not the
so
ghost
right
room
now-
or the computer room.
You guys have, the three of you, Chalk is back there still running through. He's getting to the point where they got on the airplane and the mother realizes he's gone. And the three of you, Terme, Rolu, and Thaddeus, have moved down the center towards the front. And as you guys get close enough to those doors in the front, you see the gun turret recessed into the ceiling, and you see the scanner, and those doors are slammed shut. And what you can see is glowing red and orange kind of around the edges of that door.
Looks like they're trying to take this door down.
And you hear that clang, clang, very loud and very clear coming from that door.
Is it a separate engineering check to know what that is?
I think it's very clear what it is.
Right,
That
but
is-
like, okay, that's fine. I was just going to ask
Are
you.
they melting down the door? Like
Yeah, like, are they melted? Like, is it like a lightsaber or not a lightsaber? Sorry, an energy sword going through, and like, it's like,
yes, the energy.
I would
like
say
the Solarian energy
it's
sword.
more of on the framework. They're like slowly cutting through the side.
They got a plasma cutter.
Yeah.
They got a plasma ooga booga.
Yeah.
plasma ooga booga.
But what you do see is the patrol bot right there. So you can...
Repair it.
I'm just trying to go to the place in the strategic map where there are the most resources. That's all I'm trying to. Because I don't know how the scrap economy, if it matters. So, it's all good.
So you can give me an engineering check on the control bot.
Okay.
The dead corpse of the control bot.
Hope I roll high. Woo! That's a natural 19 for 28.
Wow. Okay. You get... I'm going to say you can get 6 points of scrap from that.
See, I told you that is.
Cool. Okay. With that, let me share with you...
Let's be clear that Thaddeus is the one picking up the scrap. Thanks for finding that, Rolu.
You're still
Oh,
tied
sure.
up. Don't forget.
Yeah,
But
of
I
course.
could use your help repairing this turret here. Can you come
So-
over here?
I'll need my hands to be in the front. So
Let's go over how scrap points are actually going to work. I just shared the document with you. Can you guys all see that?
yes.
So what it says is that you can, for 1 scrap point, you can make a decoy. For 2 scrap points, you can seal a door. For 4 scrap points, you can build a barricade that is 10 foot by 5 foot. And for 6 scrap points, you can construct a trap in a hallway or a door. And you guys have a total of 11 scrap points to share.
So we can get 1 decoy, 1 barricade, and 1 trap if we're just going by sheer number of things.
Is that inclusive of us potentially repairing anything that was already in place?
Okay, so the turret in the middle, if you guys are looking at that, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that takes 10 points, 10 scrap points to do if you want the turret to work.
I think it's worth it.
We can
Absolutely.
just choke them off right here.
Or you could tear it down and use that for 4
We
points.
know where they're coming through. I don't think they can. They're really in the mood to go digging. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. I don't know.
Digging for what?
Well, there was those entry points where like dirt was coming in, right?
Right.
Like from the outside.
Seems unlikely.
Yeah, it's doubtful. I think.
I think maybe if we just get them in a choke point here, and
I think it's good to make a stand here, and we can retreat tactfully as needed.
yeah, we can.
into
We
different
can.
areas
We
to
can
ambush them further.
retreat back into the chamber and make our final stand there if it comes to that.
There's a couple of intersections of hallways where we could take cover and fire from as we need.
Yeah, and we have a booby trap behind us.
Is it?
And this turret.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
So we can repair the turret and create a decoy.
Do we have to create the decoy now, or can we do that on the fly?
Also, can we like trigger the? Do we want to draw them into this hallway somehow with the decoy, and then?
Kev, can you take off your headphones so you don't hear us this scheming? So you don't know.
No, because I have to help you do it, don't I?
Do you?
I mean, yes.
So then you wouldn't believe it. He takes an iron and attaches it to a rope, puts that on a spring so that as soon as they open the door, they get clobbered right in the face. It was the best. And he was like,
You filthy animals.
Yeah, you filthy animals. Keep the
filthy
change.
Keep the change. It's so funny in Doc's voice.
Yeah. All right, well, who's going to repair this turret? I think Shock, you're pretty good at engineering, eh?
Yep.
Rolu, why don't you and he work?
Chuck has a +5.
I thought you asked me. I have a +9.
Well, you can... I'm sure Shock's nimble enough to do it with his hands, and you can help him. Like,
yes.
You hear
The hands
You-
part.
you hear
that's
from the
the
back.
stuff.
Chuck's a little busy.
Shock.
Do we need to roll, or does the 10 scrap points allow us to automatically do it?
You're going to use the scrap points to do things.
To make a roll.
To make a roll?
to repair the
No,
turret.
it's just we have that. We already rolled because that's how many scrap points we have.
Got
so
it.
we can just
Someone
build a scrap.
untrained can just do it with the scrap.
Yeah, so we can.
Rolu could do it with his hands tied behind his back.
Yeah,
perfect.
Weird, very, specific.
All right.
Scenario, totally.
Get this turret up and going, and do we want to draw them into here? Do we put a decoy there? Or where do we want to put a decoy?
I feel like if we put a decoy down the middle, they'll probably see that first. Better to put it off to the side and then have somebody fire so they look that way, and then we fire from the other direction.
Okay, so you guys are fixing the turret and then using a decoy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me drop this turret back in place. I'm going to remind you that this thing targeted everyone.
Couldn't we reprogram it?
If you go to reprogram it, how are you going to get it to tell you not to target you? That's what I'm asking.
Well, there's we could code it. We could.
You're asking
know.
software engineers that
Yeah,
question.
you're asking.
Well, go ahead.
if
Give me
friendly.
a culture check. I guess would be recall knowledge, right?
Okay,
Sure.
Culture.
Or
is it
check
just
check your
terminate?
notes.
I got a 28.
Cool. So you remember the badges.
Badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
Except we do.
Those 2 badges that you picked off of the 2 dead bodies in the study room are what this thing will analyze to say you are their friend or foe badges. You know.
Yeah.
So I would say, that's a fair warning. I think Terme would be like, wait, don't forget the badges.
We need those stick-in badges. This
And you only have two of
treasure
them,
the Sierra
so
Madre.
if you want to get rid of Rolu, make sure you have him standing
Just
in the hallway without a badge.
without a badge.
Sorry, what was it?
What?
Now, we need a question, Rolu.
Yeah, we need to know more, I suppose.
Rolu, you don't have a badge. I think that's probably Terme and I. So let's get you safely around the corner. All right? This thing's going to come on. It's going to target you if you don't have it.
Yes, sorry, I'm just relishing in your concern for my safety.
I'm going to put a proximity mine above in the ceiling, maybe just before, as you step out of the scanner.
There we are. Nice.
Could you perhaps move my... I would like to shoot.
And I think I should put one or two somewhere else.
So I'm going to put one here, if that's cool.
With a barbed shrapnel grenade.
You're placing a barbed shrapnel grenade?
With a proximity switch, a Mark 1 proximity switch.
Okay. Remember what a barbed shrapnel grenade does, please.
A barbed shrapnel grenade.
Just have it ready. That's all I'm asking.
Okay. It has an embed property and an explode property.
So do you need to do an engineering check to make that work?
I don't believe so for the proximity switch, although I will check. Yeah, nothing here. It just does a perception check with a +8 per mark level for detecting people within 5 feet.
Okay.
So I'm putting it at the choke point here.
I'm going to put one. It's not, the drone won't set it off, I don't think. So I could put one by the drone when they go to get their kill on. It'll go off.
Great.
Maybe I'll put it behind it, put that burger wrapper I think I see over in the corner just to obscure the thing. So, that doesn't look like they're falling into a trap, but they are.
I like the way you think.
And I got one more. Do I save it? Because we already got the other one too. But it's only rigged with a flash grenade. But that could be useful. Okay.
I think I know what. I think we're good.
All right. So just to recant, you guys use 10 scrap points to fix the turret. Somebody give me an engineering check on that.
All right.
And I'll let you assist if you want.
13.
I can't.
I guess Jack will holler advice down the hall. No, he won't.
I can assist. Just a moment. Check my.
What is this for, Kev?
I got it.
What?
I assist.
Nice. So 15 total. What is this for?
None of your business. So it's a 15 total. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
What am I assisting then?
To fix the turret.
I thought we did that with the 10.
I thought we did that with the scrap points. I didn't think we had a
Right.
roll.
You fixed it, and I'm adjusting something based off of your rolls.
Well, I got an 18 on my roll, but I don't.
That was to assist, though. Okay. So we got the turret. We got this one here right at the scanner is a, what'd you call it? Percussion?
Shrapnel, barbed shrapnel grenade.
Okay. What is this circle here for?
Another, let's do Frag Mark 2.
Okay. There's a Frag Mark 2 in the hallway just past the turret. We have the proximity sensor with the flash grenade right as you turn the corner past that first set of rooms. Where's your decoy?
We want to draw them into the center. So where do we want to be? Where do they want to put the decoy?
Guys.
So then he sets up a bucket with glue in it, and it just pours all over the guy, right? And he steps into the living room, goes to turn the light on, but it turns the light on, and it turns a fan on. It just blows the entire room full of feathers. This guy looks like a stuffed chicken. It's the best.
Is there just static on the other end?
Well, it's like a two-way radio. Like as long as he's talking, there's no responding.
Oh my god!
And I think honestly, what's going on is that you guys hear this the way that the intercom system is set up. It's going over the entire intercom system. So as you guys are like discussing where to put the decoy and stuff, so you just hear Chuck going on and on about.
So good. So
Thaddeus is like, I really need to see this movie.
Thaddeus, I would like to be able to help and
Yeah,
use my gun.
Rolu,
right behind Rolu's back, you hear this, and you feel the heat of the Dashko behind you. And it just holds it there for a second. He draws it next to the nape of your neck, and then slowly just like cuts the cord behind you all the way down. I will be keeping an eye on you.
How long have you been planning this?
Planning? Planning what?
All right, so the decoy. Where is that decoy going?
No, hold on.
You've been on to me from our second encounter. Do you remember when you foolishly acted as a leader and, well, you made the mistake by chastising Treme afterwards, but that's neither here nor there. Since then, you've been pushing.
From the very start, you have been a suspicious person. Do you remember the very first time I met you? You lied about how you even got to the Caduceus, how you were transported there. You just tried to disguise it as a joke, but it was really suspicious. And you've been suspicious over and over and over again. And you were Hears's, a high ranking on Hears's ship. I already knew this. It automatically makes you suspicious. So, I didn't like you from the beginning. You were suspicious from the start. And your suspicion quadrupled when we found out about what Hears did. So don't act as if I've been setting you up. This was going to happen. And then we found that stuff on you while you were sleeping. It's obvious, man.
Oh.
There's more that I could say, but we can talk about that later at the ship, about how we know that you're really suspicious, all right?
Sure, let's talk about it later.
Trying to gaslight me and everyone, I know you, and I'm not going to have it.
I don't want to break up the party here, but we still gotta put this decoy down. Thaddeus, where do you suppose we should do that, given your tactical expertise?
Well, if we're going to keep pushing back into the engine room, we could
All the way
do
in the
it
back.
after.
Put it all.
Shut up. Everyone's questioning Thaddeus'
Behind the innocent
himself.
people.
So you set up this wonderful trap right here. Why didn't we do it a bit further back? So that will be the third thing they run into if they get that far.
Well, do we want to put it right where you are? Like,
No, further back this way, my man. You see that? You have your claymore there, or whatever that is.
It's a decoy,
Perhaps. Well, further back then?
right? So does the what does the decoy do?
It will draw their attention, I think, as well.
Yeah. So we want to draw them to this hallway or through it.
and at the very end, they'll have a nice surprise with this flash, and then maybe we can come around the corner here, and maybe somebody will be here.
Okay, when you're saying here and here, where are you saying on the
So I feel it's at this junction, we should just be at all 3 points of this junction and have the decoy at the center of this junction, so they'll come through, they'll see the bot, they'll fight the bot, and then they'll if they're drawn to the decoy, they'll try to get to the decoy, right?
Yeah, I like that idea. Rolu is massaging his wrists and his hands and stretching them out. I think that's a great idea, Jeremy.
So as you guys are debating this, you see that those gold flame lines essentially running further and further up and down the door, and you hear that clang, clang every once in a while.
I think it's getting near the witching hour, as it
So
were.
they finally get in the house. They get to him. They hang him up on a door hanger because that's rude. And this groundskeeper guy that's been scaring him scared this kid the whole time, rolls in with a snow shovel, hits him in the face, takes Kevin down off of the hook, and saves the day.
So where's that decoy?
I think we put the decoy kind of within sight, like kind of in between these two arbitrary 5 meter blocks, as if he's peering around the corner, and we start blasting, and then when we start blasting, they'll come towards the blasting, maybe, I don't know, but maybe they'll try to go around, in which case we should probably block that off. But then what do we spend all that money or scrap on getting this? I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this plan.
We've already come this far. I think it's a great idea, Jeremy. Let's go with it, as you said.
I just don't like it. So should we be hiding in one of these rooms then?
Chalk runs out of story to tell, and the comms open up, and Tez finally overcomes and pushes the button and says, "My patience is running very thin. Get that door open now." And you hear clang, clang, right as she orders that. Take your final positions.
I don't think we should back ourselves into a small space. We shouldn't back ourselves into a corner. We should leave ourselves options. So why don't we camp out in the hallways? All right? Perhaps back here? There's 4 different directions we can go. He points to the hallway that is in between this decoy and goes further to the engine room. In between there.
Chuck has no idea that the story was playing over the intercom, so he just comes sprinting out. Guys, I'm out of story. I got to the end of the movie. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
I can see the decoy, and I could potentially do like cover fire or something.
Chuck, we're about to have company of the unfriendly kind.
Nothing me and my puck can't handle.
Amen to that.
Just start thrusting.
All right.
You're
All right.
pernicious little
So you're
vine, aren't you?
Is that where you're staying? Is this it?
Just last check. Where is everybody?
We're all in the same hallway.
Yeah, we're all in the same hallway.
So you guys have come out of the lab. You're now just south of the study room and the computer room, and you're kind of in the barricade. I've said are like 2 panels of probably like computer gauges and meters and stuff, and that opening there kind of zigzags into the main hallway that heads out the stellar flare. So in that main hallway, you guys put a frag grenade right at the scanner opening.
No. Bar shrapnel, and then the frags by the behind the drone.
Sorry, shrapnel first, then the drone, then there's a frag grenade, and the frag grenade is also proximity switch?
Yes. I burned 2 proximity switches. And then you get to do...
Did you have...
Yeah, I had...
You had
3.
3 to begin? Okay,
I had
cool.
3
then there's,
total, plus the 1... So, no.
Right.
I had 4. There was the third one... I have 1 left.
Okay, because that's all I really needed. So because the
There's
flash
still the
bang
one,
is still
with the flash,
right around the corner at the end of that hallway, and you put the decoy kitty corner from that on this side of the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you 4 now are gathered just on the opening after the zigzag.
And Rolu has line of sight on that hallway.
Same.
First line of sight.
Yeah.
I feel like Thaddeus was like,
scanning
"You
the
stay here."
sectors, guys. Keep your sectors clear.
And you hear Tez Tronin say, "Don't say I didn't give you a chance." And there's a loud boom as the first explosion, and then a loud metal clang, 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 echoes through the empty corridors as what the metal doors into the stellar flare fall to the ground, followed by thump of boot steps and priming of weapons. The airlock door has been breached, and they're coming in.
Here they come. Weapons out, spells ready.
Here we go.
So, before we go any further, I need initiative order from you.
I got an 18.
13 for Chuck.
13 for Chalk. Thaddeus, you said 7?
Yes. Yes.
And Rolu, what was yours?
Sorry, my data pad with my initiative bonus is being very slow here. Oh, sorry, 5.
5 total. Great. Cool. Give me 1 second. Just to sort range.
This is like the tense moment where we're waiting for footsteps. There's like gunfire, and then we're just waiting. We're like expecting somebody around every corner. It's cool.
Terme, you're up first.
I'm going to ready an action. I'm going to provide, I believe it's harrying fire.
Okay. You're going to ready a herring fire.
So if I see somebody, like if I see movement in this hallway, I want to try and draw that enemy with my harrying fire, kind of, and provide a buff.
So first, the true warrior, the first movement you I guess you kind of see. You kind of have a slim view. You're the only one that can see it. You see there's a true warrior standing there right at the outside of the scanner, and you see a bunch of bodies behind him, and you see a Yosoki kind of scramble past him, and he runs through the scanner, and he steps on that proximity switch, and there's no kind of save for that. I guess it'd be the grenade's reflex
For the perception of the, like, to set it off, or are you talking about?
He triggered it. I'm going to say he
Okay.
already triggered it.
Okay.
So then it's just going to be the reflex save from that, right?
I'll just read what it says. This cruel grenade propels exceptionally jagged shrapnel causing lasting pain. Affected creatures that fail their reflex saves against this grenade take the listed damage. As long as they take any damage from the grenade, the shrapnel also impedes them per the embed weapon critical hit effect. Both these grenade sadistic effects and their common use by slavers to immobilize victims have resulted in wide-scale bans of these weapons, though more lawless regions rarely regulate explosives. I think it's a DC 12 is what it's telling me.
And I passed that with a 17. So first we'll do this, that. So roll your damage for the shrapnel grenade.
So I got 2.
Okay. So I'll
one.
I get half that. So I take 1 point of damage. Great. So and he's little and nimble, so he like shakes his way out of it and somehow dodges this shrapnel grenade. But as he does that, it triggers the turret, and the turret goes and drops from the ceiling and starts mowing down everyone. So they go through this, starting with your decoy. Because it is in the line of sight for this thing, just barely. And so the decoy is going to take 3d6 of damage.
I didn't think that would be the case. I don't know.
You said it was peeking around the corner, right?
Right, but like, is it sight based?
Yeah, it's sight based. It's a 2-hit. So like,
No. But like the mechanism to fire upon the decoy is sight based. Like it's got a camera, or is it like heat, like flare?
Sight based. It's a camera.
But it does, so it works in the dark though, or it doesn't work in the dark, is what you're telling me.
I think you're overcomplicating this. It hits it.
All right, but if it has dark vision,
it has dark vision of 60 feet, and it sees its thing. It's gonna hit it.
okay, whatever.
It destroys it. Shreds your decoy, and then it's gonna twist and turn 180 degrees, and it's going to natural 20. I'm not even going to bother calculating that. The Yosoki just dodged through the grenade and then gets driven up the center of it.
Amazing.
Next, the tough warrior behind it. That hits, and that's going to be 10 points of damage for that true warrior. The next Yosoki, that's a hit.
Dude, this thing is decimating.
Yeah.
And that true warrior
Glad I'm
is
holding
now-
this
I mean,
key
it
card.
wrecked us. I figured it would also
Yeah.
do work on.
10 points well spent.
And then lastly, there's actually that true warrior is not seen. And then there's one more true warrior outside that's in the line. And that hits. For 9 points of damage.
Oh,
Yikes.
yikes.
The problem is it buzzes through all of that, and then it goes and turns off.
Oh.
And that's our
Come on!
Oh, I was waiting for that to come through.
Well, it was a wise setup.
It was worth
We did
it
what
for
we
the
could.
first 2 enemies,
Yeah.
3 enemies. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. That was good.
Thanks for listening, ye scallywags. Until next week, drift beacons and distant stars.